Helen, and today I want to talk about and share my experiences with my client from my clients about how problems are just the symptom. That's right. So, as you can see, here's the iceberg. A lot of the reason why people have not been able to solve their problem, whether it be smoking, for example, binge drinking, binge eating, lots of different problems, is because they've only been trying to fix this, which is the symptom, whereas the real problem's underneath. Generally, the real problem has nothing to do with smoking, drinking. The real problem is generally some trauma that has been experienced, whether it be when they were a child, whether they were at high school, bullied. So, for example, and cold turkey in particular can be a real tough one. People just cut it. So, and they are very successful and can be for quite some years. But if you have not found a solution, so when things are stressful and to us, because what our mind tries to do is keep us safe. So it will trigger you to say, oh, you found smoking was your best coping mechanism. And it refers back to the first time when you first started smoking because it served you at the time. But then after now smoking for 5, 10 years, 30 years, it doesn't pay off anymore. There's not that payoff. So when I had a client who did go cold turkey for 3 years, and that was really good. But then this really stressful time happened for them, a very stressful time. So they went straight back to smoking. So when they came into me, they had been smoking for 30 years, and we're talking 30 cigarettes approximately a day. So when we got down to it, it had nothing to do with smoking. The problem was caused from some real huge trauma in their childhood. And it wasn't just one-off trauma, it was a constant thing. So they had tried everything, but by the time they came to me, they'd even tried a different form of hypnosis, whereas I do conversational hypnosis. But I do not spin around on the symptom. I dive deep and resolve this. And then they walked out the door and haven't smoked since. So, and it just goes to show that it's, you could be trying to fix this symptom for a very long time, and which is not the real problem. So I really want to show you and share with you the clients that have come in and how it has changed their life. When, especially another client came in and when they heard that their problem was just a symptom, it almost seemed to click for them that, oh my gosh, this is going to be so easy. And really, it was, because it just wasn't the real cause, the real root problem going on. So another example was, I had a client come to me who had been having horrendous problems at work and had been going on for quite some time. They were stressed out to the max. And when we got down to it, sure enough, the real problem of their anxiety, their stress, and the particular problem that they came in for was their mother had died 15 years ago, and they hadn't dealt enough, or they were caught up in the grief. And they said to me, oh my gosh, the penny has just dropped, as they had made that connection from their mother dying to what was going on in their life now. And problem resolved. It was just like that, boom. As soon as they realized it had nothing to do with the current situation, the current problem, because that was just the symptom. And we talked about, I was able to really work out, and we resolve it, bang, and off they went. Then another client who came in who had PTSD, really big anxiety with going to the doctor, to the point where they could not have their blood pressure taken at the doctor's. No way. They had even had to go and buy a blood pressure device and take their blood pressure at home, maybe and take it twice a week. And still they had to be really careful about how they did it, because they would, just thinking about it, put their blood pressure through the roof. So it was a really tricky situation for them, because they had to go to the doctor. And this is where the mind again tries to keep you safe. So in this instance, it produced the body to have the high blood pressure, because they were trying to keep them safe going to the doctor, because that's where they had the problem. But when we got down to it, it had nothing to do with going to the doctors. The problem was back when they were a child and had some, again, stuff go on, which they finally realized, wow, this is what's really going on. And so they were able to really uncover so much about them, but be able to go back to the doctor, where it now helps them get better from another disease that they needed to go back to the doctor and see. So does that make sense? All problems are just the symptom. The real root cause is underneath. And it can be from one line that someone said back in the day that you were in high school, or it could have been the auntie that could have been, and I'm just hearsay, that there's so many different scenarios that it could have been that it's someone and has said something. But one of the massive reasons why you have not been able to solve a huge problem that's been occurring in your life is because you're only spinning around that symptom up there and not getting to and clearing down below. And then boom, because we can get caught up in a knot and then another knot of the problem, and it's just unraveling it all for it to just disappear. And it's so cool to watch the ahas and insights of my clients that they get, and the penny just dropped. It's just sensational. So if you'd like to give me a call or a chat, and we can go from there, because it's so valuable to work on yourself and watch the outside world change when you've worked and uncovered problems within yourself that you could have been stressing and worrying about for days, weeks, months, and sometimes years. People get caught up and spin around and stress and really run down their bodies because of the constant worry, the constant self-doubt, the beating up on oneself is very easy to do, because why are you caught up in this problem but someone else isn't? We're all caught up in it in a different way. If we lined up 10 smokers in a row, every single one of them would be caught up in a different way because they all had their own different scenario with the way that they started smoking. So it's just interesting to and really have a think about, are you spinning, trying to fix a problem, spinning on the symptom, trying to fix that part when really it's down underneath the surface? Thank you and bye for now.